global trends. Today we'll be speaking about the rapid population growth in Vietnam. With this, we have Professor Hisham and Professor Vivian, and we'll be discussing it today. Good morning, Professor Hisham and Vivian.
Good morning.
Now, Professor Hisham, can you give us a brief introduction of the population in Vietnam?
Vietnam is a multi-nation country which is home to people of 54 nations. About 90% of the population is Vietnamese, but there are a large number of ethnic minorities. The remaining 10% of Vietnam population constitute of the various ethnic groups that include approximately 1.2 million Chinese, spreading over an area about 400,000 square kilometers. Vietnam has a population more than 84 million people. Vietnam has a rapid population growth. The average growth rate of Vietnam population is about 2.23% owing to its rapid population growth. Many fear that it has started to become an obstacle in the development of the country.
I see. So, what do you think are the factors which are causing such a rapid population growth rate, Professor Vivian?
According to Hanoi, the population of Vietnam was almost 60 million at the end of 1985. Western sources estimated about 500,000 more than in mid-1990 and 80 million by the year 2000. Unless the growth rate of 2% per year used for these estimates was lowered to 1.7% by 1990, with declining mortality rates achieved through improved health conditions, the population increased by 1.2 million or more per year between 1981 and 1986. 1.5 million in 1985 alone was studying the country's chronic food shortage. In the 1980s, Vietnam needed to produce an additional 400,000 tons of food per year just to keep pace with its rapidly increasing population.
I believe environmental problems are caused by this rapid population growth.
The rapid population growth in Vietnam has placed new pressure on the environment, particularly as a result of pattern of land use, forest exploitation, and depletion of water resources.
What other environmental problems are caused by this rapid population growth?
Each year, natural forest cover is lost to such activity as illegal cutting and forest fire. Because of this deforestation and illegal hunting, many species of the mammals and flowers have disappeared.
Doesn't Vietnam face a problem with its aging population? Isn't it unhealthy?
Additionally, Vietnam faces problems with the aging population, which is increasingly unhealthy. In the 1999 survey on living conditions of elderly, the percentage of older people who reported they were in good health dropped from 17.3% for people 60 to 64 years old to just 4.0% for people 75 and older. The percentage of older people who said their health conditions was bad rose from 26.2% to 63.7%. For those same age group, they also have problems providing all resources needed for their rapid growing population.
Has the government done anything to help the people?
After 1976, when population redistribution became a pressing issue because of food shortages and unemployment in the urban areas, a plan was unveiled at the 4th National Party Congress in December 1976. The plan was called for the relocation of 44 million people by 1980 and an additional 10 million by the mid-1990s.
Were there any other parts of the plan?
The plan also called for opening up 1 million hectares of virgin land to cultivation and introduced a measure designed to divert some armed forces personnel to the building of new economic zones. The relocation was to involve an interregional transfer of northerners to the south, as well as an intra-regional movement of lowlanders to upland areas in both the north and south. Between 1976 and 1980, most of the 4 million people who were relocated to rural areas and the new economic zones were from Ho Chi Minh City and other southern cities. In the 1981 to 85 period, a total of 0.6 million workers and 1.3 million dependents were relocated, causing the country's urban population to decline from 19.3% of the total in 1979 to 18% in 1985. The country's long-range goal, established in 1976, called for the population to be distributed more or less evenly throughout Vietnam's 443 districts, with an average of each district of 200,000 persons living on 20 hectares.
The government is indeed taking action to save their country. What other actions are the government taking?
The Family Planning Drive instituted in 1963 was claimed by the government to have accounted for a decline in annual growth rate in North from 3.4% in 1960 to 2.7% in 1975. In the South, however, family planning was actively encouraged only after 1976, and the results were mixed, constantly falling short of announced goal. Additionally, the government has invested in many plans to educate rates and lower poverty rates.
Then, do you think that these plans and actions are bringing about a positive change in the rate of population growth in Vietnam?
They are indeed working.
What has shown this positive change?
In 1981, Hanoi set a national goal of 1.7% growth rate to be achieved by the end of 1985. A growth rate of 1.3 to 1.5% was established for the North, 1.5 to 1.7% for the South, and 1.7 to 2% for the sparsely settled highland provinces. In 1987, the growth rate, according to Vietnamese sources, was about 2%. Even though the progress may seem slow and little, even unnoticeable at times, it is definitely the beginning to a greater change. I strongly believe that if the government continues to have these policies in place, Vietnam will be able to cope with and solve their problem of overpopulation.
Indeed, Professor Vivian. Thank you for joining us and filling us in with this useful information. That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching Global Trends, and this is Natalia signing off.